Hello and welcome along to another instalment of the Ronnie O'Sullivan Show. Coming up, Ronnie shares a sofa with potting sensation Judd Trump. He catches up with rising star Karen Wilson. Plus, there's a very special masterclass. "12 months ago, Ronnie O'Sullivan and Judd Trump battled it out in an epic UK Championship final. With this year's tournament just around the corner, the pair met with Andy Goldstein to discuss that famous night in York.
Ronnie and Judd, how are you, lads? It's good to see you.
Good.
Do you do much stuff together? I mean, I'm thinking back while I was driving here today, thinking, when was the last time I saw you both on the couch? It doesn't happen often.
I don't think I've seen Judd since last World Championships, really.
Yeah.
Since the World, I haven't played much, and Judd's been doing a bit and that, so... And we usually practice at the same place as well, Grove, where Django's got his tables and that. But like I say, I haven't practiced for 6-7 months, so just in his car in the car park a few times when I'm driving by. And that's about it, really.
Do you, of course, you would have grown up watching Ronnie, Judd, I imagine. Now you're good pals with him. Your game is based loosely around his, or is it your own? How would you describe it?
I think when I was younger, it's probably more like his. I used to base sort of playing quick around him, and sort of, yeah, my game still is like, I want to enjoy it rather than, I'd probably rather go out and play my game rather than get bogged down and win. I'd rather play quick and lose. It's just how the game is. So I think when I was growing up, he was, yeah, definitely what I based myself on.
And Ron, of course, a lot of people liken your game to each other. Some people have even said he's going to be the next People's Champion, you took it over from Jimmy, Jimmy from Alex, and so on. Do you see a lot of yourself in Judd?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, yeah. I mean, he wins frames so quick and fast, and his pot, I don't think there's ever been a potter like Judd, ever. I played all the players there is to play in the game. For me, Hendry was the greatest, followed closely by John Higgins. And then for me, Judd is behind them two, because of the way he plays, the way he puts you under pressure. He can dominate the table. They're the only 3 players that I've ever played that can do that. 2 of them, one's already retired, one's 40, and I'm kind of 40 as well. So it leaves the road clear for him, really, if he wants to dominate the game. Whether Judd has the appetite of, say, someone like a Stephen Hendry, who was like relentless with it, 5-6 hours every day. But it's certainly there for Judd to be the #1 player for the next 10 years if he wants to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2011 UK champion, Judd Trump.
OK, now we've got you here, of course, to look back at one of the great snooker finals, last year's UK Championship, which is going to be good, of course, for you, Ron, not so good for you, Judd. When you're starting a final, I don't know if you remember, I don't know what your memories are of this final from last year, but it was quite scrappy. The first 4 frames were quite scrappy. You, of course, I think the first 2 were split, and then you took a 3-1 lead going into the interval. How important is it to go into the interval leading?
Well, I mean, if you just look at the pattern of the match, I mean, I think I was 1 frame away from winning. I think Judd needed 6. And as you know, the ending became, that come down to a deciding frame. So it's not that important, I don't think, the scoreline. It's just how you're playing. And I think me and Judd probably didn't produce the snooker that anywhere near the snooker we produced in the Champions Cup. So, yeah, it was a bit scrappy. So, none of us really gathered any momentum. I just managed to kind of nick a few of the frames. And that was it, really.
I get the feeling as well that you like being under the cosh a bit more than Ronnie does. You produce your best form maybe when you relax and you think, perhaps you've done all you can, let's see what happens, and then you do start producing. Is that the case?
I think a couple of times when I play Ronnie, I try too hard at the start. And for me, I want to be sort of level going through the match, and then, if not, in front. But sometimes I try too hard, and then it's not until I think the game's over, then I start to relax and I start to play properly. And then, especially in the UK final, I thought in that last frame I had a chance I was going to win. The nerves sort of went away, but then I ended up in trouble, and Ronnie made a good clearance. But yeah, sometimes I just try too hard.
Let's look at some key moments from last year's final. This was a huge shot for you, Judd. You're 4-1 down, and there's a massive difference between, of course, 4-2 and 5-1. You've got to pot the black here, and you're trying to knock that red off the cushion just above the pink, which is a fantastic shot. Not only have you knocked it off, it's now in open play, and you're plumb on the red. in the middle. Now, I've seen this a few times, and I think you get a slight kick because obviously you miss it. Why did you miss it? Do you remember the shot? Do you remember the misses?
Yeah, I remember. It was slightly straight, so I tried to pinch some of the pocket to come down, and obviously I just ended up taking my eye off it. Also, it was such a big point in the match where I felt if I nicked that one, I could sort of hurt Ronnie a little bit and then get back into it from there. Obviously, if he gets his frame, he's 5-1 up. I can't possibly get a lead in the first session. He can kind of just relax and build up a really big lead. So
I often wonder as well, when you've done a lot of the difficult work and you find yourself on an easy ball, if maybe you take your foot off the pedal slightly, can that be the case sometimes?
sometimes, yeah, sometimes. But sort of when you're in a final like that, there's always pressure on you, so you're always trying to take that bit of extra care. I think it was just, I wasn't playing well at the time. It was just a bad miss, really, no excuses.
This is a 5-2, obviously. Do you remember this shot, Ron? There's a reason I'm asking.
No.
OK. Looking at it now, what would you play? So you can see the scores. 6, Trump is leading by, and you're 5-2 up. What would you play?
Maybe try and put the white bit on the top cushion and maybe the green across here, so I'm snooking in behind the brown and blue.
OK, so what, the green behind the blue and the white behind the brown?
Yeah, something like that.
OK, let's have a look what happened. I mean, you've played it absolutely perfectly. Look at that. White very tight, as is the green on the blue. And I think you come to the table, Judd, and give it a little smile. There you go. How on earth has he done that? It's a great shot, Ron.
This is the frame before the afternoon session's over, so, you know, to go in 6-2, it's a massive frame. Neither of us were really playing that well, were we, really? It was kind of like... I think there was a lot of respect there for each other. When there's too much respect there, you start to, you know, not play your best game.
Really tough shot here. Obviously, you got to pop the green and then put so much gear on that white ball to hold for the brown. Tough shot, that, isn't it, when you're popping into a pocket and you've got to put so much control on the white ball to come off 2 cushions.
Yeah, I think it sort of depends on the table, really. That looked like the table was quite reactive there. Some of the tables we play on, that shot wouldn't have even been possible, so I cued it well, though.
So, obviously, you just need the blue now. This will put you 14 in front with 13 on the table. And I'll tell you what you did here, because I want to get your view on it. So you decided just to concentrate on potting the blue, which you potted, OK? But then it left the white down where it is, which, of course, then you had to play safety and, in theory, give Ronnie a chance to come back. In retrospect, should you have rolled this in with maybe a little bit more top to bring the white back down here to have a pot of the pink rather than just concentrate on the pot?
I think it depends sort of on the scoreline. I wasn't playing well at the time, so obviously I felt the need just to try and make sure of it. If the score was the other way around, I was feeling confident, then I'd have probably just got down and knocked it in and finished on the pink. But there's sometimes when you just got to understand that you're not playing well and just to try and nick the frames. And I think at that point my mindset was just try not to lose rather than try and win, where my confidence wasn't that high at the point.
So this is one of my favourite shots from the final. Everyone has played this shot in the club and never ever thought about doing what you did, which was moving the black off the cushion. I think that was a fantastic shot.
Yeah, well, yeah, I needed to get the black out because obviously it was so tight to the cushion. So, yeah, it turned out all right.
It turned out all right. I've never heard you say it was fantastic. Have you ever done that about any of your shots?
There's been a few.
Oh, yeah, of course, that,
Not many
that
lately,
green
though.
potted. Double kiss there. Never good, but it doesn't really matter because you're leading. It just gives Ronnie maybe a better chance to get that snooker.
No, it's not easy to get a snooker on the black here either, because it's sort of, if the black's on the black spot, you know, you can normally you got a good chance of getting it in behind there, but where it is there, it's in the middle of the table, so it's difficult.
Where it all went wrong. Do you practice this scenario, you two balls, pink and black left, trying to get a snooker? Do you do that, Judd?
To be honest, not really, no. It's such a rare thing to happen, I think. You can never allow for where the balls are going to be, so it's quite hard to practice.
And such an important frame as well for you to win the last one of the afternoon, Judd.
Yeah, that was a massive frame, really, to try and stay in the match.
At the start of the evening session, Ronnie held a slender advantage over Judd in the final of the UK Championship. The Rocket, though, soon raced into a 9-4 lead, taking 4 of the first 5 frames, putting him within 1 of victory.
Let's skip forward now to 9-4. Of course, Ronnie leading, just needing 1 more. I've got the impression, Ronnie, this one, that you just thought, it's close, there's a couple of reds there, I'm just going to try and go for it, is that right?
It's not an easy shot there, because obviously, you know, I've hit that a bit too thick on the red. But like I said, you know, there was I mean, I don't know if Judd felt, but I just felt at some point in this match, Judd had kind of give up in his mind. I could just tell on his body and his mannerisms that he'd had such a bad day at the office that he kind of felt like, you know what, whatever I'd done went wrong. Look, even when he missed this, I could just tell, look, I just thought he's just... feels like he just wants to get out of there. That's what I'm thinking. And then once that starts happening, you start to lose concentration yourself, and then you start to miss a few, and it became like a... We were both making a few errors, and then there was just one point where he just switched on, and then I was like, he's up for it now. You know, he's like, well, how does that work out, you know? But it just shows you that's the kind of player Judd is. He's a feeling, momentum type player. Look, you know, I'm sitting there looking at that thinking... You know,
are you aware of that,
if he's 9-4 up doing that, I'm thinking, you know, well, he's obviously concentrating. But when you're 9-4 down and you're doing that, you can obviously see that your opponent's not having a good time out there. And you know, from my past experiences, when I felt like that, I've just thought, I just want this over, and you want out. So and when that happens, you never really end up winning the match. So it was kind of more surprising for me that, you know, he could turn it around so well, which is obviously a testament to his temperament, really, because it was a hard day for Judd. You know, I could see from the minute go, nothing actually went right for him. You know, he had a bit of bad luck. Positional play wasn't quite going well for him, and, you know, and that can weigh you down after a while.
Judd, I mean, that was a great pop there and a nice little flick on the blue as well. But before that, when Ronnie was missing balls, and then you had a relatively easy red, and then you missed it as well. Had you given up?
Pretty much, yeah. I was trying my hardest, but every time I got down on the shot, it just looked like I wasn't going to pot it. And then, especially when I missed that red in the last frame, everything looked so hard. And I don't know. I think at the start of the game, after playing him in the Champion of Champions, I expected Ronnie just to not miss a ball again, and that's what I was trying to prepare for. And obviously, when you start thinking about the other player, you try too hard, because I'm trying not to make a mistake now, when I should just be trying to relax. And in the end, Ronnie didn't play that well, but where I was trying too hard, I was missing everything. Ronnie was still able just to nick the frames and just get a big lead in the end.
That one made it 9-5. When do you start thinking, got a chance here?
I'm just waiting to try and one visit now. If I can one visit, get a bit of momentum, then I know that I can sort of think about not missing. But whereas I've not cleared up in one visit yet, all I'm doing is when I'm getting to the table is looking for problems. And in the end, I make a good break out of nowhere, really, and sort of that's what gets me back into the game, gets me sort of geared back up for the next round.
Do you play your best snooker when you're up against it, or when you're relaxed and you've got a lead?
I don't really know. I don't really... I mean, I'm not like Judd and what Selby seem to do. They can go quite a long way behind in a match and just kind of find another gear, or just kind of be able to get their way back in the game. Normally, if I'm 4 or 5 frames down, I just think, oh, you know what, this ain't going to be my day. I'll still try. But Selby kind of wins games by grinding it down and shutting up shop, where Judd will win games where he just kind of comes out and blasts you off the table. So they kind of get back into the game in different ways. But I can relate more to how Judd plays, because I know that it can just be sometimes one shot that happens and you think, yeah, I found my groove, that's it, I'm flying. And then you can then be playing well for the next 2 months just off of that one shot. So I can relate more to probably how Judd finds a gear than Selby. I mean, the way Selby plays and the way he shuts up shop, I mean, I couldn't play snooker like that. I wouldn't want to play snooker like that. But and a bit like Jimmy White as well. I remember he said it to me once. He said, I can just play one shot and I know that I'm playing well again. I went, yeah, that's how I feel. And I would imagine Judd's a little bit like that. It's just kind of something happens and clicks and you're away then. And it's like the shackles have been let off you. You just feel like you can just pot anything on the table.
at the table now, Judd, 9-8 down. Chance of a long red, and you spoke earlier on about you just want to have that one visit and clear up, and just slightly off with the long one there. What's going through your mind now? That was my chance, or still a long way to go?
As I was coming to the table, I was obviously thinking I've gone from not being able to pot a ball to not missing a ball, so I'm thinking that I'm going to get down and clear up again, one visit. And then when I've left him this red on, I was thinking that's the only thing I didn't want to do was leave him sort of an easy chance to get over the line. And as soon as he got into like 20, he opens the ball so well, you're thinking it's all over. But at least I put up a good shot. I started to play well, so I wasn't too disappointed compared to if I'd have lost 10-4. I've sort of sat there, it's a bit embarrassing. I haven't.
Let's have a look at another key shot. This is you down on the black, and obviously you're trying to avoid the red that's just to your right.
Yeah, I think this is the one where I should have took the pink. I think I'd have shot on the pink in the middle, but I wasn't confident of potting it and stunning across, so I ended up trying to play the black to get behind the red.
So you're going to try and come off the cushion and back round for the red in the other?
Yeah, I was trying to miss the red, but I've not hit it well.
Aye, his bottle's gone.
I'm thinking now, just hopefully please get one more chance. And I'm thinking where the balls are, there's not really that much safe, so if I can pot one good ball, if he leaves me half a chance, and I've got to go for it really and try and get back into it.
I mean, that's a big lead, 9-8 first to 10 and 59 up.
Well, it is a big lead, but when he's been knocking 4 frames on the bounce in one visit, it's not a big lead. You just think it's just one pot. I'm not thinking, oh, he's got to get 6 reds, 6 colours and all the colours. I'm thinking if he gets half a chance, he's probably going to clear up. So that's why I didn't really want to bring the red off the cushion. But where that red is, it probably wouldn't have made no difference to the way he was seeing the ball at the time anyway. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. You've got all these different emotions going through you at the time, which make you just, you know, you don't know what to do.
Let's have a look at this shot. This is you down 9-8 still. And of course, the main thing here is to not only get a good white ball, but of course not leave any reds open. And he's left the red to the left there.
Yeah, it's not the sort of red you want to be going for, though. You know,
do you try and do that, lads? Do you leave a tempter when maybe it's a penultimate frame or the last frame, thinking, you know, if he does, it's a difficult shot, but I know he'll go for it. Certainly someone like Ronnie or Judd.
I don't think I did go for it. I don't know what's going on here.
I think you... You've played a good safety there. Well, the reds come back with you. That's actually a bad safety.
Got away with it. I got away with it there, but I remember Judd potting this red. I remember coming back to my chair thinking, I've got away with that. But then I'm thinking, well, I haven't, because if he pots this red, he's bang on the black. And then I'm thinking, there's a red on the left-hand side of the cushion, which is my only saviour. But if he misses this, he loses the final. It's just what I'm thinking, and bang, it goes straight in the middle.
That must go through your mind as well, Judd, when you're down on that red. This is it, if I miss it, I've lost.
Yeah, I knew I'd have lost if that didn't go in, and also the way I'm queuing, like bang in front of Ronnie's chair, I'm scared of. I don't want to see my arm twitch in front of him. I don't want him to watch me twitch it, so I'm thinking just cue it straight, please.
That's going through your mind. I don't want to make a fool of myself in front of my opponent.
I don't want to twitch. Like I don't want to miss it by a mile right in front of his chair. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought, and I knew if I potted that, then I was gonna have a good chance. So I was feeling so confident at the time. I didn't think I was going to miss from there.
And then, of course, you went on to win that frame 9-9. The pressure's on who? Because
pressure's not on Ronnie.
It's still on you, Ron. So it's been on you from really 9-4, isn't it?
From 9-5.
No pressure whatsoever on Judd. So all the way he's coming back to 9-6, 9-7, 9-8, and even 9-9.
Yeah, 9-5, 9-6. I was like, yeah, because obviously it was mine to lose, and you know, Judd had everything to gain because no one expected him to win from there. So yeah, it was.
So with all that pressure on you, you've pulled out, you know, an incredible long red.
Yeah, I remember just thinking, right, well, it's 9-all. You got nowhere. There's nowhere to go now. It's you know, it's all on this frame. And I remember I fancied that, to be honest with you. I felt pretty good on that one, and kind of on the black.
You thinking maximum?
No. Shouldn't get a 20 or a 30.
And what are you thinking, Jack? Because he's just produced a fantastic red.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't a bad break-off.
I'm a little bit annoyed. I'm thinking, how's he potted that after what I've just done? And then I'm thinking that he's pretty much he's 2 inches there, 2 inches too high from frame being over. If he pots that, finishes low, flicks the 2 reds away, I'm thinking it's game over from there. So he still had a little bit to do, and then at this point.
But I remember before this, Judd had got a chance and he potted a red, and then he was awkward on the pink, and he smashed the pink in the middle, and white's gone up into bold and come back down. I thought, he's not, you know, he's not feeling the pressure. He's obviously feeling some sort of pressure, but he fancies the job, and that's when I thought, you know what, it's over miles for me here, because unless the balls are like proper bang over the hole and I can't miss them, I'm a millionaire. Do you know what I mean? And it was sort of like that was what was going through my mind. I thought he looked much more comfortable than I'm feeling at the moment.
So this obviously was a massive turning point. I don't know if you remember, but you pushed the red up the table slightly round to the middle.
Yeah.
Of where the blue is and the white just behind the green. It was a fantastic shot. Your safety actually in this final one was very good. You've got a shot now, Judd. I don't know if you remember, but you've got the option, even on the screen, they show you a graphic of coming off the left-hand cushion as we look, then the right, and down to the red, just to the right of the black, closest to the number 14 on the scoreboard. Which, if you hit that, I mean, it sounds easy, but it's a very difficult shot. If you hit that, it leaves it safe. But you chose to come off one cushion and slide down for these reds near the pink. Do you remember that?
I can kind of remember it. To me, there doesn't...
That's the shot they put up there, which you didn't take.
The angle there is not an angle really that you can play. The cushions aren't going to react like that. So I didn't think that was possible to really play. I felt that wasn't a shot. And in the shot I played, I felt I could get safe.
Because you've got to be on the left-hand side of those two reds. Because if you're on the right, then you leave a few reds open. Yeah,
I felt it was an achievable shot. I felt if I hit it dead weight, then I could leave it safe. But it was such a hard position at that point. I'm just thinking about maybe just smashing the balls and hoping for the best. It was that hard at the point. Because Ronnie's played a good shot there. If he hits that red any harder, the white's going to come out and he's going to leave me a red to the middle, and I can take that. So he's played it well, and the balls around the pink is sort of in a deciding frame. You just want, it's easier than balls being around the black. If you can stay in the middle of the table, it's sort of. I knew at this point if I left anything, then I'm probably not getting back to the table.
So you're going for what, the furthest to the left, that red?
I'm trying to hit the top red here on the left-hand side.
OK.
Dead weight, though.
And then just flick to the left of that.
And the cushion just reacted a little bit square than I thought it was going to.
And are you walking back to your chair thinking, I should have just smashed them?
Yeah, I'm thinking I should have just smashed them.
What would you have done there, Ron?
No, I think he actually played the right shot when I look at it now, because if he hits any of them reds on the right side, he isn't going to be leaving me much. Like you say, but you know, the only way he could leave it was by just coming across it like he did. But if he'd have got the right line, you know, it was a good chance that he wasn't going to leave me anything on. So it was just sort of, you know, it was. I'm not saying it was probably the easiest shot out of the lot to play. You know, trying to come off 3 cushions like the other guys, like they put on the table. You know, it's not easy to get that safe, you know.
And he's thinking...
He could have ended up missing it 10 times, you know what I mean, and keep putting the ball back. So you don't want that either, you know, giving away 30, 40 points by just trying to hit one red.
Are you thinking just get a decent score, or I can win the match from here?
Oh, no, I'm thinking I've got to go game here. If I don't go game here, then, you know, especially in the frame before when I was 60 in front, I'm thinking I don't deserve to win.
And those 2 reds near the black, you leave them there, do you? You don't open them until you need them? Yeah,
because I just want to kind of just build a lead now, you know, like Judd said, you know, the ball's all around the middle of the table. I can go red, pink, red, pink, red, pink, and then the first opportunity that I can get them balls out and kind of leave myself on another red, then that's the time to do it. But if you're not guaranteed to be on another red, then you just want to take what there is there and kind of then, you know, at some point I think I needed to kind of get one of them 2 reds out, or maybe not, I wasn't sure, but I knew if I built up enough lead with reds and pinks, there was a good chance I wasn't going to need to get them 2 reds.
51 friend and match.
Can you remember what you said, Joe?
I can't.
Ron, you can't you?
I can't remember, no, I just remember saying to Judge, I think we both had an horrendous day, but I said, like, I'd never want to go through that again or something like that. I can't remember.
Like that, What did you say, Judge?
Just a congratulations, yeah. Give me half your money, please.
And, of course, the presentation. Do you feel a little bit more connected to this trophy in this tournament? Of course, you won it as a teenager, Ron.
Oh, yeah, it's a mega tournament for me. It's the one where I won my first one, and this could possibly be my last one, you know. So I'm 39 now, and, you know, and like I said, like, I was just so much more relieved than anything because of, not because of winning it, it was just in the circumstances and the way I won it. So I was just kind of like, glad that's over.
Same feeling when you win it now as when you won it as a kid?
No, different feeling. I think you're much more aware of the process now. When I was first coming on the scene, I was just kind of just smashing everything in and just loving it, you know, whereas now you kind of look. I think the older you get, the more you start to appreciate that, you know, I might not be playing in as many of these matches. You take it for granted when you first come on because you think, well, you know, it's just another tournament. But I've actually learned that, you know, and if it's one bit of thing I'd obviously say to someone is just appreciate every result you get and every win, because one day you're not going to be able to get it, you know, like Davis and Hendry and people like that. It happens to everyone, you know, you're not always going to be able to win tournaments.
I'd imagine, Judd, from your point of view, playing people like Ronnie in the final, that's what it's all about?
Yeah, for me, that's the sort of why I got into snooker. I wanted to play him as much as possible, and sort of one of the reasons I moved down to Essex to try and practice with him, watch him and see what he does. So for me, it's still disappointing when he doesn't enter a tournament, because sort of in my eyes, if I get to play him in sort of the semi or final, it's good for me, it's good for the game, and it's good for the future of snooker, because obviously Ronnie brings so much attention that it can bring sponsors in. So I think, obviously, I understand his position now. I understand why he doesn't enter tournaments. For me, I've been playing professionally now for 10 years, and sometimes it's not enjoyable. So I understand what Ronnie kind of what Ronnie goes through. So you just got to pick and choose, and you've really got to enjoy it when you do play.
And this season, your aims, your views, is it to get that World Championship? Is that the main goal?
To me, my main two goals this year are the Masters. I've never really done well in. I want to do well in that one, and the World Championship sooner rather than later. I want to sort of get to the final again and win, hopefully. I think last year was just a bit. I think I took my foot off the gas. I think when Ronnie
came close last season.
I was so prepared to play Ronnie in the semi-final. I did not think Stuart was going to win, and sort of when Stuart got through, I was sort of a bit relieved, really. I felt like I was never going to lose to him over that sort of distance, and then it just didn't quite happen for me. So I've got to learn from that, and this year I need to up my game again.
That 6th world title, will it happen?
You never know. Who knows, you know? I'd love to think that I've got another one in me, but, you know...
Is that what's keeping you going?
No, definitely not. For me, it's just about enjoying and just playing. I just want to keep nicely busy. I don't want to be on the treadmill where I'm just chasing every tournament, every ranking point, and, you know, and focusing on that, you know. And a lot of changes going on in the game, so when them changes suit me, then, you know, I might, you know, probably come back and play a bit more. But at the moment, I don't really want to be... I'm too old to start running around playing in minor events and competing with these guys that are really hungry, you know. But
we could see you both in this season's World Championship final. Well, that could happen.
If the seedings work out like that, you never know. But there's a long way to go between that. But I'm sure Judd, you know, he's going to win world titles and many tournaments, you know, to come now.
OK, lads, thank you for your time today. It's been a real pleasure, and hopefully we'll see you both in many more major finals.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up after the break, Ronnie gives us a masterclass on how to make that magical maximum break.
There ain't many things better than making a 147 at snooker, and today I'm going to be showing you how I would go about making that magical 147 break. This is a type of opportunity that when it presents itself, the first thing that comes to mind is a 147. You've got maybe 6, 7, 8 reds out in the open. The black is not tied up, so there's no excuse for not being able to get a red-black, red-black. So we have a simple red to start off with. And each ball that I pot will be played with a stun, screw, or a run-through shot. I've screwed back a long list line here to try and leave myself a perfect angle to either just follow through, or ideally, I would have liked to have been here. But the whole point of making a 147 is always trying to leave yourself options. A bit of screw and a little bit of side to bring me over towards the black. Now I'm going to play a slight little run through. Trying to always leave myself an angle on the black. You don't ever really want to get straight on the black because all you can do is go forwards and backwards if you're straight. There you go, straight in the middle. I've not come ideal on the black, so I can't screw in here and come around there, so I'm going to have to bring my white off this cushion and out into the middle of the table. A lot of people always ask me how many shots I'm thinking ahead, and in this instance, I'm thinking I want to clear this red, get onto the black to get on this red, so 3 shots ahead here. And I've got on the black perfect. I'm using that red as a blocker to stay on the black, and this is where I've made a mistake. I've tied this red up. I've now got this plant in the middle, which should free up a couple of these reds. Got a slight angle on the black, which is going to take my white out to here, and we're going to play for this red in this corner. I've left myself a slight angle on this red here, so I can either stun it in, or I can just run it through and play a little cannon off of this, which will open these 2 up. So I think I'm going to play the little cannon shot. Oh, got through the gap. I've got myself a tough shot on this red. Managed to pot that one. And it's vitally important to get an angle on this black now to dislodge these 2 reds get into potable position. It's come out perfect. Oh, left myself a bit of an angle there. Too much of an angle. So what I might have to do here is screw into here, try and flick this red over the corner. Screw in on the floor, and you can't play it any better than that. I've managed to pot 14 reds, 14 blacks. I've now got the perfect opportunity to pot this red, get myself on the black. Now, the difficult shot here is leaving myself the right angle on the black to get to the yellow. But at this point, adrenaline is taking over, so you're thinking, I've just got to trust my ability now. And now I'm going to run through a sequence of how I'd normally pot the colours. So here we have the yellow. A lot of the shots that I've been talking about all through this break have been little soft stun screws, so it's very important you start to try and perfect that shot. But again, a little soft screw to try and leave yourself a nice angle on the brown to take ourselves from blue to pink. It's very important we stay this side of the blue. If we come round here, then it means we've got to go all the way around the table. And again, you want to leave yourself just below. About there is okay. Ideally, you'd like to be a little bit more off the cushion so you can get your hand in. But as long as I'm the right side of the blue, I know I haven't got to do much of the right. So now I'm feeling really confident. I feel like I'm probably just 1 shot away now from actually making the 147. And that's the shot. Now you can't foul. Nice and firm. Shouldn't miss this. Straight through the ball. In it goes. And there you go. A 147.
Still to come, the Rocket puts Karen Wilson through his paces in a brand new snooker challenge. It's been a big year for Karen Wilson. The 23-year-old shocked the snooker world 2 months ago, winning the Shanghai Masters, beating the likes of Joe Perry, Ding Junhui and Mark Allen, before downing Judd Trump 10-9 in the final.
It's just been fantastic. I didn't think of all the bonuses that would come with winning, you know, champion of champions, how much I've risen through the rankings, the money, all that sort of stuff. I was just focused on winning the title. And yeah, I'm sort of enjoying myself now that I've won. But you know, that title's gone now. I've got to get on to the next one and get refocused. I think it was a bit of a surprise how quickly it came. But yeah, I practice hard, I do the right things, so to me it was coming. It was just a matter of when. It was great playing someone like Judd, who's very popular out in China, and the crowd was fantastic and the atmosphere was brilliant, so yeah, I couldn't really have asked for a better final. And I pulled away to 9-7, and I just said to myself, you know, you've got 3 frames at least, you're going to get your chance, just be ready for it. And unfortunately for me, the chance didn't come until 9-all. But I think a lot of players would have turned it down. To me, that was my chance. I just had to go for it, and you know, I was leaving everything if I missed. I think that's what made it such a good shot, really. Luckily for me, it went in, and I didn't look back.
Karen Wilson, 75, 3, and the match.
It just makes you realise how big an achievement it is, really. It's good to show sort of players lower rank that, you know, it can be done. Top 16 is probably every player's dream to get into. But, you know, I'm not deluded. I know I've got to play well. I don't think it's going to come to me, you know, easy. But, yeah, I just want to win every tournament, every match I play in, whether it's the smallest tournament in the world or the biggest. So I know I've got to keep practicing, doing the right things, and that's the only way it's going to come to me.
Ranked world number 54 at the time, Wilson also became the lowest ranked player to win a ranking title since 2005. Ronnie went to meet snooker's newest star at his club in Kettering.
So this is where you practice. I know that used to be your table, but now you've kind of gone to the private room over there.
Yeah. It's obviously a very busy club, and it was just nice to sort of get away and concentrate on my own, and sort of get out of the busy environment.
And how long have you been practicing here?
5 years.
5 years.
Originally I was playing in the club in Kettering, but these have took me under my wing, and yeah, they've been great to me.
And who do you practice with here? You got any good players that you can play with?
Yeah, I currently share a table with Peter Ebden. I have a few players down, Rory McLeod, Mark Joyce. So I've got, yeah, I'm in a good little spot for practice partners.
Yeah, nice, brilliant. We've got some challenges for you today. I've set up a few different exercises, so should we see how we get on?
Yeah, let's do it, yeah.
Yeah? In your opinion, who do you think in snooker plays good safety?
It's obviously a massive part of the game. I think if you're going to be a top player, you've got to have a good safety game. Probably the one that springs to mind is probably the most recent winner, John Higgins.
Yeah.
His safety game's on really puts you in positions that a lot of players could never put you in. So, yeah, I'd probably say John Higgins is the best.
OK. Yeah. All right, well, we're going to see how good mine and your safety is today.
OK.
Mine ain't been too good lately, so
no.
I don't know about yours. But yours has been a lot better, because obviously you've done well in Shanghai, so you must have been playing some good stuff out there. Got 3 reds up there, so I'm going to give it... We're both going to have 3 attempts each, and the idea is to try and... For every colour you can hit, you get 10 points.
Right.
Right, so I'm going to have my first 3 attempts. Oh, shit. He's on the way.
It's close.
Oh, give me 10. Oh, I missed it. Let's get that. 1 out of 3. 10 points.
Sure.
I'm happy with 1 out of 3, so I've got 10 points. Your go.
I'll be happy with 1 out of 3, to be honest.
Good luck. Go for it. I've seen your safety. You're a good safety player, so I reckon you could get 2 out of 3.
I'm happy with this if it reaches.
Aye, aye.
Go on.
First go. 10 points.
Oh, it's turned. It's turned away. Hello.
It's turned
back
in,
again. Yes. Green.
2 out of 3. I expected that, really.
Yeah, thanks very much.
You happy with that?
Yeah, very happy, yeah.
10 behind. This is about long ball potting, so I've set up 3 different types of long ball here. I went first on the safeties, and I'm going to make you go first on the long ones. The pressure's on. Aye, aye. Clean as a whistle. Oh, 3 out of 3.
Happy with that.
Talking about long ball potting, who would you say in the game? And when I say the modern era, I'm probably going back to when, say, Davis come into the game, so around the 1980s. Who would you say over them years was probably the best long ball potter that you've seen in the game?
You've got to say Judd Trump, I suppose, as the top long potter. You've got Murphy, Robertson, But yeah, I mean, Alex Higgins as well. You know, he potted some outrageous long balls. I remember the blue he potted on that clearance when he played it reverse side, and yeah, I mean, it's changing all the time. But yeah, today's players are making any ball but pottable.
At the moment, you've got 50 out of 60. I've got 10 out of 30, so the pressure's on me now. I don't know who you think is the top rest player in the game.
The first one that comes to mind is probably Jimmy.
Yeah.
He's obviously very natural talent. And yeah, I think growing up from a young age, you learn to use the rest because of your height, obviously. But a close one, I'd probably say Sean Murphy.
Yeah. I totally agree, and that was my fault there was Jimmy obviously putting up there, but Sean Murphy is very, very close. I think it's my turn to go first. So we've got 2 rest shots here, one down either side.
Yep.
Oh dear. Pressure's on. Is rest play something you practice at all?
I have my own little routine before each tournament because we don't get long before matches. You get like half-an-hour slots normally, don't we? A bit of rest plays in there.
Pressure.
Shocking.
Nice, clean, strong. So we come up to our final challenge, which is the break-building aspect of the game. As snooker players, you know it's so important, given the opportunity to score heavily these days. If you don't, chances are you're probably not going to win much. You've got a minute to score as many as you can. I've set up 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 6 reds there. I'm 20 points down, so you've got a huge advantage now. If you lose it from here, you'll never be the same player again.
No, I know.
1. 8. 9. Nice.
Ooh, got no left hand.
Play that good. 17. Oh, I've got to get that. 33. Too good. Oh, left-handed. Oh, trying to chalk me cue. No breath. Am I done? That one don't count. Kieran, nice one.
Cheers, man.
Brilliant, thanks, sir.
Cheers, mate, no problem.
So we've come to the end of the challenge. You hit the magical 100 mark. I really enjoyed it, and I just want to say well done, obviously, in Shanghai.
Thanks very much.
And there's a really nice story. I remember Peter Ebdon coming up to me about seven years ago, it must have been. He said to me, he said, I've seen a new guy. His name's Kieran Wilson. He said, I've been practicing with him. He said, he's going to win tournaments. And I was like, really? He went, yeah, trust me. And you kind of, I see you come on the scene. I see you've had a few results, and then to kind of see you make that breakthrough at Shanghai. You know, I know Peter knows his game, and he spotted. He was right on this occasion, and he was right with Ding as well. So, you know, I know everyone might have only just seen you, but amongst the snooker world, you're highly respected amongst the players, and you got all it takes really to go all the way. So,
thanks very much.
Had a great day.
Cheers, Ronnie.
Thanks for having us down.
Cheers.
And good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
That's it for now, but be sure to stay tuned to Eurosport as the game's biggest stars, including both Judd and Karen, battle it out for the first major trophy of the season in York. Bye for now.